Hey guys, HDvee here. Now, Pokemon is an absolute monster of a franchise. Pretty much everyone has played it at some point, or at least heard of it, with millions of people growing up with the games. With a franchise this popular though, surely Game Freak would have slipped in a couple of Easter eggs across all of the games they've produced, right? Well, in today's video we'll be taking a look at 5 Easter eggs in Pokemon across all of the games since they were first released. Obviously there are a ton of Easter eggs in the franchise, but these 5 are just my personal favourites. With all of that being said, this is my top 5 best Pokemon Easter eggs. Let's get started. In every Pokemon game, the player will receive a special certificate from the Game Freak developers for completing the Pokedex. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the developers are located in Lily Cove City. However, what you may not know is that it is also possible to receive a different reward from the developers altogether. If you transfer a Pokemon all the way from the original Ruby and Sapphire games, then place it first in your party before speaking to the developers, you'll receive the Time Travel Award, a special commendation for carrying a Pokemon all the way from Generation 3. In Pokemon Snap, if you knock Magikarp into the waterfall, it will evolve into Gyarados, which may surprise a few people considering that Magikarp doesn't evolve that way in any of the other games, or the TV show. This evolution is actually a reference to the origins of the two Pokemon, who are both based on an ancient Chinese myth about a dragon's gate and a waterfall. According to the myth, carp that were able to swim up the waterfall would transform into powerful dragons, a reward for their determination and resilience in the face of great adversity. Magikarp's evolution into Gyarados in Pokemon Snap is a direct reference to this story, the same story that initially inspired their creation. In Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, there's a scientist on the second floor of the Devon Corporation's building in Rustboro City. You can bring fossils to him and have them restored, but fossils aren't the subject of his primary research. He's actually working on 2 devices, one that will allow humans to communicate with Pokemon, and one that will allow humans to explore visual representations of the dreams of Pokemon. In Pokemon Black and White, almost 10 years later, the Dream Radar feature was introduced, allowing players to choose their favourite Pokemon, tuck them into bed, and use them to explore the Pokemon Dream World. It's a neat idea, but the fact that it was foreshadowed way back in 2002 makes it all the more awesome. For those who don't know, Missingno is a glitch that appeared in Pokemon Red and Blue that would often cause the game to freeze or become completely unplayable. It was possible to catch Missingno by travelling along the eastern side of Cinnabar Island, though besides duplicating items, there wasn't much point to trying to catch one. Although the Missingno glitch has been well documented, most people don't know it can be manipulated to achieve even more interesting results. For example, if you name your character DX, DY, DZ, it's possible to encounter a Mewtwo while performing the Missingno glitch. Though it requires a lot of work, it's actually possible to teach Pikachu to use Surf, despite it being a water-based move. Essentially, you have to finish the R2 Prime Cup Master Ball division in the original Pokemon Stadium using a Pikachu from Pokemon Red, Blue or Yellow, which is almost impossible by the way. In order to actually accomplish such a feat, you'll need an incredibly strong team to pick up the slack, because Pikachu is pretty much useless. Once you've done it, a message will display that reads you won using Pikachu, at which point you'll be prompted to pick a move to replace with Surf. As an added bonus, whenever you use Surf in Pokemon Stadium, Pikachu will jump aboard a tiny surfboard and ride the waves. But with that wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. Looking at the Easter eggs in Pokemon is always a pleasure because it's such a fun subject. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any other Easter eggs that weren't in the video, then please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you'd like to see more types of these videos, I have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching, have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video.